Hi there, welcome to the channel or welcome back. I'm Angela and today I'm going to share with you guys my sewing plans for this month. If that sounds interesting, stay tuned. Thank you guys for stopping in today. I'm so glad that you're here. I do have a few things on the project plan for this month, so let's jump right in. The first thing, got a few little things here I'm going to grab. The big thing that I am planning to make this month, and this is something I've been kind of teasing a little bit and hinting around at. I have a gorgeous bottle green colored sweater knit. I'll put the picture here that I kind of put out a little poll to see what you guys would make out of it. And I loved seeing all the responses. But the final, like in the end, what it came down to with me, what I am going to make out of this is the Love Notions Tessa sheath dress. I'm doing the sleeveless version. So it'll be sleeveless, but it won't have that separated little yoke up there. It'll be the wider neck but sleeveless. So kind of this one here, but no sleeves. I haven't gotten too far into it yet. I have cut out the pieces, so there's no going back at this point. But I'm very excited about it. I think it'll do just fine with this. It's a sturdy knit, so I think it'll hold up and keep the shape and not be clingy, have a little more structure to it. So I think it'll be just fine for that. And then the other things that I'm planning to make, there are just two other things, and those are both the same thing actually. What it is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on this. So I purchased like years ago, I don't know how many years ago, 3, 4, maybe more, a swingy kind of sleeveless, it's like a tank top. I'll show you the whole thing here in a second, from Old Navy. And I loved it so much that I can't remember if I bought this green one. So it's kind of long. It's like a tunic length almost. And it's a swingy, it's a tank kind of top, but not like form fitting. So I bought one of them, either this green one or a navy blue one first. And I loved it so much. And the price was really great, as prices are at Old Navy oftentimes, that I bought the other one. And I also bought a white one, just a clear, like solid white, like a true white. And I bought the white one intentionally to cut apart and use as pattern pieces. So I did use those pattern pieces to make another one. It was sort of like a bright orange one that I took on vacation a few years ago. Yeah, and thinking back, I went on that vacation with that top in 2021. So I've had these tops since probably 2020 or maybe even 2019. I just love the fit of them on me and the feel, the way they wear. And they are starting to show their wear, so I don't wear these out too much these days. I kind of wear them out in the garden, like the green one and the navy blue one that I still have. I wear them just around the house when it's warmer, or outside when I'm working outside and things like that. So I got rid of that orange one that I made, not because I didn't like it, because it fit just like this one does, but the color was just horrendous. And the fabric was like a really sheer, thin knit, and you could see like everything through it. So I wore it on vacation, and who cares on vacation, right? Because we were at the beach, so it didn't really matter. But I like this still so much, and like I mentioned, I still wear these, that I'm going to make two more of them. And the fabrics, oh, let me back up too before I show you the fabrics I'm going to use. This is what the pieces look like. So with that white one that I bought intending to be a pattern, I apologize if this is crinkling, I made a front and a back just out of the tissue paper that I use. And I just traced the fabric pieces after I cut that garment apart and traced it. I've done that with a few different pieces, garments, and I have had good luck with doing that. And then all I need to do when I cutting this out on my fabric is to add the seam allowance. And I did go ahead and make the note on my tissue pieces to add the seam allowance, just in case I'm making these like years down the road, which I'm doing right now, several years down the road, that I wouldn't forget that these don't have the seam allowance added in. So yeah, and it was successful with that orange one that I made for vacation. So I'm planning to make 2 more of those. And coincidentally, they are also going to be blue and green. So this is the blue. This is a remnant piece that, did I get this maybe from StyleMaker on their salvage yard? I'm trying to think. But I have just enough to make this pattern with. And then the other one, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to make it out of this green knit. And I am forgetting the contents of this fabric, so I will put it back up on the screen for the blue one and the green one so that you guys know what these fabrics are made out of. This blue one is kind of got the same feel, like that silkier, kind of swingy feel, drape, a lot of drape. And the green one, though, I'm not quite sure if I'll get the same kind of style out of this one because it's rougher. It's not as smooth and rayon-ish. And it's got a little bit of texture to it, which I don't think will show up. And it doesn't have that same kind of drape. So I might possibly not use this green one and choose another one of my like t-shirt knits that does have that same fluidity to it. So we'll see, but those are my plans for February. And I know we're kind of getting on into the month, so I'll be doing good to get all 3 of these things made up. These t-shirts ought to go pretty quick, especially I could probably like batch cut them out since it's the same pattern. Just do everything in duplicate with the green and the blue or whichever fabric I end up choosing. And so other than kind of going month to month, I don't really have much of a project plan this year. In 2023, it was all about doing my fall and winter capsule. So that kind of, even though I did make other things in addition to that, having that capsule plan kind of kept me focused on what's the next thing, and it all goes together. This year, I'm kind of taking it a little more flexibly, I guess you would say, and just kind of going month by month and making what kind of feels right to me at the moment. And what feels right to me right now is getting some more of these tops just because I love them. And my 2 that I have are just showing wear really badly. So kind of looking at it as getting back to basics and things that I actually need rather than kind of creating things that maybe there wasn't, like creating the need for something that wasn't there, kind of. Like even thinking about my capsule wardrobe, since I don't go into work to an office anymore, the job that I have now, like my day job, so to speak, is very casual. It's jeans and cargo pants. And so I don't really have to dress up that much. So that capsule wardrobe is kind of just for sheer fun, just for the whole sewing aspect of it. And so this year I'm kind of like taking a step back and thinking, what are the things that I'm lacking in my wardrobe currently? The things that I wear every day and that I might need more of or like replacements of. So that's kind of what's driving my sewing projects this year. One other thing before we go, if you've been hanging out with me for a little bit, you may notice that my sewing setup has changed here just a little bit. I got this pull-out desk from IKEA for the win. And the reason why I kind of changed things up, I'll put a picture of the old layout up here, is that I will soon be getting a serger. I have narrowed it down. And once again, those of you who have followed my channel for a little while have um, kind of like walked with me as I've kind of vetted out some sergers. And it was my goal last year to get one. it is my goal this year to actually do the thing. So I have narrowed it down, but I'm going to hold off on that until I actually get the new machine. But what I needed was space to keep it set up. So what I have here, this is my Janome that's my daily sewing machine. And this is my Viking 400. It's an old machine. I've had it forever. I had it serviced recently because I want to take the Janome in for servicing, and I didn't want to be without a machine for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks or whatever the lead time is these days. So I went ahead and had her serviced, and now she's up and running. But when I get the serger can stay here, the sewing machine here, and I'll have a nice little workstation. So just a little heads up on that in case you noticed the difference and were curious. That's what's going on there. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that you've had a great week. What are you working on? Do you have sewing plans for the weekend? Let me know what you're working on in the comments. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. And I hope you'll tune back in next week. It should be like midweek, maybe later in the week next week. I'm going to share with you guys my favorite picks from the early spring collections of the big five pattern companies. And that should be interesting. I love doing those, although I don't do those types of videos very frequently. They are so much fun just to kind of look at the new patterns coming out. That always like jazzes me up and gets me way interested in sewing again. So I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. And thanks so much again for hanging out with me today for this little short check-in. And I will see you next time. Bye.